Batman, the Caped Crusader is a new animated series that is on Amazon Prime Video now, and is showing 10 episodes for its first season. Now, I am happy to say this animated series brought back some nostalgia and some feels of being a kid again watching cartoons, because the Caped Crusader, much like Batman the Animated Series in the 90s, feels the same. There's a lot of callbacks to it, how the style of the show is produced, and should be no coincidence because Bruce Timm, Matt Reeves, and J.J. Abrams are some of the directors and producers for the show. For those who don't know, Bruce Timm was instrumental in creating Batman the Animated Series, Superman the Animated Series, a lot of those 90s cartoons that were some of the best cartoons we've ever had. Matt Reeves, for those who don't know, was the director of the latest The Batman film, starring Robert Pattinson. And J.J. Abrams has done multiple films throughout his career and been part of a lot of projects and is very talented in his right. So, start off. How is this show? I will say this was a very fun watch. I was entertained throughout every episode. So this series doesn't focus on like a main storyline that's happening, much like the 90s animated Batman series. Every episode is kind of its own story plot, and there's like not something else going on in the background that leads to bigger things. So that was kind of nice. You do get a lot of Batman's rogue gallery showing up in here. There are some slight changes in here. One of the big ones that I don't like was what they did with the Penguin. And it's not because they changed Penguin from male to female. It's just the way that the Penguin character is played. Oswald Cobblepot is more of a shy, like timid type of person. And what they did in this show is they made the Penguin, can't remember what they call her, it was like Oswalda or something like that, kind of made it more of a female name. They gave her confidence, and she, is mingling with the crooked cops on the Iceberg Lounge, which is a yacht in the show, which I thought that was a cool adaptation. But it's just the way that the character traits they switched up, I wasn't a huge fan of. Other than that, we do get our version of Firefly, I believe, in this show. They call him Firebug. Thought that was okay. What I did like, though, is that they did not, spoiler warning, they did not bring the Joker into season 1. So they are going to have a season 2. Looks like Joker is at the ending of this series. It's a end credit scene, and it's a very cool scene where Joker is looking like he is working on his laughing gas, trying to make the perfect batch. And it was a cool scene. Joker looks pretty creepy. Only episodes that I was not a fan of were the episodes that introduced some supernatural powers, supernatural villains. We have one where it's a former ghost. I was expecting maybe they were going to do a collab with John Constantine possibly, and it didn't go that route. There's another episode where a girl named Natalia kind of like sucks the life force or the energy out of people, and they don't explain how she's able to do that. And I thought maybe they were hinting at Natalia is going to be part of, I don't know, like League of Shadows or something like that. Have to do something with the Lazarus Pit. Doesn't really get interested in that. Maybe that's something they branch off and explore in season 2. But other than that, the supernatural element that they introduced in these episodes, I wasn't a big fan of. Those are probably my least favorite episodes. Casting wise, voice actors, I thought they did terrific. I think what they did with this Bruce Wayne, this Batman, was very good. I don't know the voice actor that voices him, so sorry about that, but he did a really good job. And honestly, the way that he voices Bruce Wayne and Batman, he sounds, in some instances, like when Batman's grunting when he gets hit, or if he's in a fight, or just the way he talks, he sounds like Kevin Conroy. And it's just, Kevin Conroy is honestly the greatest Batman we pretty much had, voice-wise, just perfect. The Arkham games were so much fun, and it was nice to hear that, because rest in peace, Kevin Conroy. You have given a lot of people a lot of joy over the years from all the work you did as Batman. So did appreciate that. Thought he did a great job. I like too that this is like Batman's still coming up. This is younger Batman. Always loved the storyline of Batman when he's younger. I like when you get to see the character development from how Bruce Wayne doesn't know how to act out in public and use his rich person persona to use that as his mask, because Batman's his real face, Bruce Wayne is the mask. They don't really go into that too much in this show. Bruce Wayne does act like a spoiled billionaire that just likes to throw away his money and go out with supermodels and all that. But what I do like is the character development between him and Alfred. Alfred kind of like gets a lot of hate from Bruce in this show, and Batman. He's very cold towards him, turns a cold shoulder to him all the time. Very harsh with how he talks to Alfred. Calls him Pennyworth, kind of like throwing him under a rug, and just kind of trampling on him. There is an episode in the show, though, that deals with one of the supernatural elements where the ghost of Gotham comes and possesses Alfred. Alfred sacrifices himself so Bruce doesn't get possessed. And once Bruce was afraid to lose Alfred, you can kind of see Bruce's heart softening towards Alfred because, Alfred is family to him. He starts calling him Alfred, and like that character development was done really well. I enjoyed that. The show, like I said, very fun. The score for the show is very good, and I think this is more of Matt Reeves doing. There are some themes, songs, and scores that are put in this show that sound very similar to the Matt Reeves Batman film that he directed a few years ago. Especially when they introduced Catwoman. Catwoman in this show, the like theme they play for her, it has hints of notes from the Catwoman theme we had in the Batman film. Thought that was kind of cool. The atmosphere in the show was done very well. I liked the route they went with this, where it's like back in time, there really wasn't cell phones, there's more pay phones. The mobsters are wielding Tommy guns and all that. Thought that was good. Thought Two-Face was cool in this show. Once Two-Face becomes Two-Face, thought the character design was just a little basic. It did look like something that they brought out from the comics, though, so it's like 50-50 for me. I thought they could have went a little bit better with the Two-Face design. Also, Harvey Dent's character in this show, he's done well. I just feel like some of him, like his, the rage that he has inside of him, the anger that he lets come out the other side of him, it sometimes felt rushed in some of these episodes. Harvey's running for mayor. He gets in with Rupert Thorne to help rig the election, basically, because he's behind in the polls. And it's like some stuff he gets really angry over, and it just feels rushed, the anger that he has. And then overall, in the end, once he becomes Two-Face, it's a whole, he's going after people for revenge, who threw the acid on his face, all that. Like the storyline, don't like what they did with it, because, spoiler warning again, Harvey Dent gets killed. Very good series. I enjoyed it. Thought it was very entertaining. It brought back the nostalgia feels for me because I loved the 90s Batman cartoon growing up. That was one of the cartoons I constantly watched. And that's probably where my love for Batman really grew as a kid, and that's why Batman's my favorite superhero. So overall, on a scale out of 10, I'm going to go ahead and give this an 8. I think it's very good. Some of the design elements and plotline choices wasn't a fan of, so I'm going to go ahead and just dock it down a little bit. But overall, for 10 episodes, thought it was very well done. Enjoyed it. Think if you're a Batman fan, you should definitely watch. Hey, if you have kids that are like growing up watching cartoons, getting into that superhero phase, this is a good one to watch. Will say there is some very dark elements in the show, so you might want to be mindful of some of that. Very good show. Think you'll enjoy it. Go ahead, give it a watch on Amazon Prime if you haven't. Batman the Caped Crusader. Hey, thanks for tuning into this episode of Coda's Cove. If you like the content, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and be a friend. Let everybody know. Come on down to the Cove because the water's fine, baby. Thank you.